What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Mikey Garcia and Regis Prograis. Mikey Garcia and Regis Prograis target Texas, but they have to wait on Canelo. Wow. Once again, Canelo Alvarez shows that he is the fulcrum around which the boxing world rotates. A potential fight between Mikey Garcia and Regis Prograis, two of the top names at 140, is currently being negotiated for the fall, and both fighters like the sound of fighting in Texas, particularly in San Antonio. Prograis, a product of New Orleans, lives in nearby Houston and recently fought in San Antonio on Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz card last October. Garcia is a native of California, is no stranger to that city either. In 2018, he fought at the Aladome against Sergey Lipinets before a rapturous Mexican-American audience, and his brother, Robert, runs a boxing gym near the city as well. Both Garcia and Prograis knows that they will not be able to commit to a date until they have a firm idea on where and when the kingpin of the sport decides to fight next. Alvarez, which is the WBA, the WBC, and the WBO 168-pound champion, is reportedly in talks to fight in September, perhaps against Caleb Plant, and Texas has been a popular destination for him in recent years. The Mexican superstar fought at the ATM Stadium in Arlington this past spring against Billy Joe Saunders, and the Aladome last December against Callum Smith. A Garcia-Prograis fight is one of the more intriguing non-title matchups that can be made in the sport, but Garcia, as business savvy as fighters come these days, knows that scheduling their fight around the same time and the vicinity of Alvarez would be a self-sabotaging decision. In boxing, Canelo gets first dibs. He states, "You gotta look at different levels around it," Garcia told Fight Hype. Canelo is supposed to be fighting in September, possibly again, so we gotta figure out our time based on that. And then you have to find out the location depending on where Canelo fights. We don't want to be fighting in the same town or state, sometimes back to back, because it just creates more competition. There's a lot that goes into it. As long as the times are on board, we're moving in the right direction. Those are the words of Mikey Garcia. Now, let me counterpunch. First of all, I love the idea of Prograis Garcia. One loss apiece, very tough, very strong, very determined, very talented fighters. Okay, that would be a great fight. New Orleans versus California, or LA, right? And I believe that they're doing the right moves. I think they want their fight to happen, but then it has to depend on a bigger fight. You know, you can't have a fight. It's almost like prime time. You don't want certain fights. Better yet, let me put it this way. It's like knowing the next Avatar is coming out, but then you in June. So the last thing you want to do in June is post or present a movie out yourself if you're a producer or a director, right? That's the wrong times, because you don't want to go up against a bigger fight, and you want that fight to stand out because that type of fight people need to see for boxing. We have fights that are dropping off the face of the planet, so we need a fight with two great talented fighters. We need this for boxing, okay? Because the more we have boxing, people changing their minds, people lying, people contradicting themselves, huge fights are not happening, people are losing money, and people are losing patience. So I like Mikey Garcia. You can tell he's the type of guy that thinks ahead. Okay, he's the type of guy that thinks with his own mind, and he's the type of guy that will be victorious when it comes to business. Okay, like for a prime example for Mikey, when he went to the zone for one fight, okay, and he took that $7 million and took out Jesse Vargas, right? But he did that because no one owned him, no one told him what to do, and in fact, that is a situation where it shows that he knows what he's doing business-wise, because it's about dollars. It's not about networks. So a lot of these fighters think it's about loyalty and networks. It's not about that at all. It's about money. Okay, and Mikey Garcia knows that I'm not the big fish. Canelo's the big fish. He's the cash cow. So we have to see what he's going to do first before I can get it on with this tough hombre, Regis Prograis. Bars. But anyway, that is a good, I think it's a great idea that Mikey Garcia is looking and anticipating what Canelo's going to do, because you don't want to be in his way. You don't want to look or appear like you're trying to compete with someone like Canelo, because you just simply can't. He has his fan base is too big. His popularity is soaring. And you don't want to be, you don't want your money affected by another fighter by being in that particular realm of competition, because that's all it's going to be. Because if they have it at San Antonio, well, they know they don't want to have it there. They want to have it a month later. You know what I mean? And especially because people are going to go see that. They want to have time to, hey, get their money back up. Like, hey, man, well, we just seen a fight. So you don't want to have one at the beginning of the month and then they later have that later on. Man, nah, we just saw that Canelo fight. Because that's exactly what they're going to do. You know, they're going to base that off, you know, hey, man, we seen a live event. Oh, it was lit. Canelo did this. Canelo did that. You know, the other fighter did good too, all this. Then you have Mikey Garcia Prograis. You don't want that to fall through the cracks. Okay, so it is a good idea for Mikey Garcia and Regis Prograis to kind of chill to see what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Mikey Garcia and Regis Prograis having to wait on Canelo Alvarez. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.